But we are now live, and I'll wait for my partner Brian to join, but I'll get us started for the sake of everyone's time. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the virtual with Diamante Roja. I'm one of the hosts, Mike Jackson, and we are talking to none other than Mr. Gomes of Escobar Cigars. So, before we get started talking to David, thank you, sir. I'm gonna do it, guys. Thank you. Before we start talking to David, I'll let the folks that are on here with us chime in and say hello. First, I know first person I see is my buddy Reggie on the top right, Reggie Campbell. I'll let you say hello, where you're working, what you're doing, if you're smoking something, let us know.
Not smoking anything indoors tonight. And Reggie Campbell, merchandising coordinator, Cigar International, Scandinavian Tobacco. On the team that's starting a new venture under that umbrella. So all the product that you see on Cigar International or the other entities, our team is responsible for that, sourcing the product, putting the product up online, and marketing and all that good stuff.
Cool. Welcome. All right, and then next we have Miss Karen K. I can't see you, but I see you. So I will let you say hello, Karen. Are you there, Karen? Okay, we'll just skip over Karen for now. Next, we got my partner in crime, Mr. Brian Thomas. Yes, we're matching on purpose. That's how we do. We represent the brand any chance we get.
Always representing. Good evening, gentlemen. Brian B.T. Thomas. Pleasure to be on. Of course, my partner Mike Jackson. Good to see you, David. Good to see you, Reggie. Thank you guys for indulging us for this evening. We're just happy to have Escobar Cigars on as well. So just looking forward to the conversation and learning more about everything that's going on. And just pleased to be. I'm not smoking because I'm inside. You see, I'm inside my kids' domain right now, so I'm not partaking. But we just came to fellowship and celebrate.
All good. We have I have one of my classmates, Arlisa. You want to say what's up?
Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday.
Good evening.
All right. So as we get some folks chiming in, I'll kind of just let them listen. But in the meantime, like I said, I guess I didn't really introduce myself, did I? I'm Mike Jackson of Diamante Roja. I am going to be smoking on an Escobar cigar this evening. I'd have it no other way.
I hope so.
And it's the least I could do, right? At least. And I'll be sipping on my one of my favorite rums, Ranza Coppa. Everybody makes the mistake and thinks that you got to drink whiskey, you got to drink all these other little things. You can drink what you want, but I prefer rum because cigars are made in rum-producing countries, right? So why not? So that's what I'm doing. But last but not least, we have our esteemed guest, Mr. David Gomes of Escobar Cigars. So you want to kind of say hello to everybody, let us know, I guess, where you at, what you're doing, what you're smoking. Well, we know what you're smoking, but
I'm smoking an Escobar Maduro Robusto cigar. Very tasty cigar, in my opinion. So I'm having that today. And since it's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles, I'll kind of bypass the whiskey or tequila for now. So sipping a beer, smoking an Escobar. I'm all yours, guys. There it
is. Cool. All right. Well, I'll just jump right into it, man. I guess give us some background on what got you into cigars. Let's forget about the company first. What got you into cigars? What is it about cigars that's kind of kept you for however long you've been smoking? Just tell us a little bit about that first.
I can tell you the exact moment, actually. I took a trip down to Cuba in 1998, snuck in through Mexico, went into Havana, and never really smoked cigars at that point. A bunch of old Cuban men in the balcony of the Hotel Nacional de Havana gave me a big cigar. President, smoke this whole thing, you'll be relaxed. And I go, oh, really? What do you put in it? And they all started laughing. I'm American. You stopped for an hour and did nothing. You'll be relaxed. Trust me. So they got me into cigars. I got into cigars down in Havana, fell in love with the Cohiba Bahique. And we came out with our line several years ago. Our master craftsman's 5th generation Cuban national. So he understands intimately the Cuban manufacturing process. And I said, I want a cigar as good as a Cohiba Bahique. And I think our Double Toro Gordo, it nailed it. It's a good cigar.
It looks like Mike is frozen, but like so typically.
Am I good now?
Yeah.
Go ahead, BT. Go ahead, BT.
No, I was just saying it looks like you were frozen, so I just wanted to just kind of jump in. But thinking about the your introduction to cigars and the cigar culture, and then going into producing your own cigar, kind of how have you seen the industry kind of evolve since you guys kind of got involved with producing your own cigar? What have been some of those initial challenges, I guess, in the beginning, and then it kind of seen things evolve over the last few years since you guys have been involved with your own cigar?
Well, I think the industry's definitely changed. I mean, look at even the pandemic year. 2020 saw a record import of Central American cigars. I think it was 2017 that Nicaraguan imports of cigars overtook the market, passed up the Dominican market. So the Nicaraguan cigar market is very robust, and it became more robust in a poor economy and an international pandemic. So I think that alone has been a change. I mean, the regulations, the government continues to try to regulate cigar people out, and I think they've been somewhat unsuccessful so far. So that has helped. But having a good quality cigar and being able to survive the supply chain issues that most of the cigar industry has right now, I think we've navigated that quite well. And that's been a big change, and we've adapted that change. The supply chain issues out of Nicaragua are difficult sometimes. You have to have mitigation strategies, which we do.
Cool. So I'm actually going to take probably about 4 steps back. Tell us, I guess, a little bit about David. Where you from? What you kind of gave us the cigar story, but take a couple steps back, and where you from? Where'd you go to school? Would you kind of what profession were you in before you decided to do this cigar thing?
Actually, interesting question. So I'm a NorCal, small town kid from Northern California. Came down to go to UCLA to play ball down at UCLA and just never went home. So I stayed in Los Angeles, but I'm definitely a Northern California kid. My previous life was medical supplies. I ran marketing and sales for a $1 billion medical supply company. After that, I went and started my own software company, made software for the United States military. So very big change. And throughout the last probably 2 decades, I've been very into cigars. It's the one vice I refuse to give up. And I don't really consider it a vice, but you could do worse than that. So that's how I started, came about the cigar business in a really unique way. My business partner, Mike McNaughton, the other co-founder of Escobar, we were on a trip to Nicaragua just looking for beach property and for the next Cabo San Lucas. His family gave a hall pass for the weekend, and I'm single, so it wasn't really an issue. So he and I went down there. He launched me in a cigar factory. I wanted to stop by SLE to get some cigars for the trip. He lost me in a factory, and he came, he found me, and there's bottles of rum and cigars everywhere, and we had a new company. We ran into probably the finest cigar manufacturer, or the cigar craftsman, I should say. We manufacture our own cigars in SLE in our own factory, but our craftsman is the key to this. He is a fantastic cigar maker.
Nice. It's funny because I was going to ask you that question because we were told part of that story from Morgan, and I just thought it was interesting because I think you're probably a little modest there, but they went to go buy a beach property and started a cigar company. Like, who does that, right? So,
Hey,
it's a great story.
I think I'm gonna start a cigar company. Why not? We're here.
You remember what our parents told us when we were kids? Like, do something you love and you'll be good at it. They're right.
Yeah,
they were right all along.
That's absolutely it. And just the industry in general, and me and Brian talk about this all the time. And we talked about this at one point too, David, where, when you're when you're around a bunch of good people and you're smoking a cigar, having a drink, talking, watching a game, or doing whatever, you're just in a good place. You're having a good time. Like and I have a shirt. And, me and BT, we talk about this shirt all the time because we market the shirt. But I have a T-shirt and there's a big cigar sitting on front of the T-shirt, and underneath it says, "I've never had a bad conversation over a cigar," and it's 100% true. Everywhere I go, everywhere I've been, I've never run into people in a cigar lounge and had a bad conversation. So, yeah, and I've learned that, and even talking to you, I mean, we've talked maybe 3 or 4 times, but it's like, there's just you almost naturally connect with people. And
cigar people can talk cigars all day long. That's why.
That's it. So back to Escobar. What goals do you guys have? I mean, obviously you want to sell a shit ton of cigars, but where are you guys at as far as, trying to get into shops, or, I know you're in, like, the shop I'm in, by the way, I didn't say it yet, but I'm in Cigar Lounge in Wilmington, and they actually carry Escobar cigars. So I'm sure they're one of the few in this region, because I never see them anywhere, which is why we also at the Row House sell them. But what kind of approaches are you guys taking from a sales and marketing perspective to kind of get? I mean, you guys are out there, obviously. I shouldn't say get yourselves out there, but you know what I mean, as far as strategies, without giving us any secrets, of course. But
fair enough. I mean, the question's a good one, actually. Is how you build your company. It's the foundation of what we're. So we with our partnership with Nas, has brought an opportunity to really do things differently from other cigar manufacturers. Our B2C model is very robust, and I don't think a lot of the manufacturers have that direct-to-consumer model that we have. And based upon that popularity, the job Nas has done on his side in driving demand to the product, and what that has allowed us to do. And now we field calls every day, domestically and internationally, from big distributors to small shops wanting to be set up, wanting wholesale, wanting to start supplying that. So we do it every day. So it's already happening. That's our B2B side of things. B2B side, we always knew we're going to be driven by our direct to consumer model, and that's exactly what's happening.
So that being said, go ahead, Reggie.
Go ahead, Mike. Now, one thing I noticed was, as the evolution of bringing Nas in and kind of the recalibration and repackaging of the brand to a slicker, more sophisticated, brand, has that influenced sales, or were you kind of always on that path?
It's hard to say, because we, and I get, by the way, Nas's marketing team, Nas and his marketing, I would just say, are top flight. They really have an incredible marketing team. So we are going to continue down that social media path, but that packaging aspects are something that we all agreed to repackage to a slicker, more modern design prior to launch, which is what we did. So that all coincided with launch. So the popularity went through the roof overnight. Was that due to Nas? Was that due to the packaging? I would probably say it was a combination of all the above.
Okay.
But
I see what DJ Khalid is always smoking your stuff, and he's
been incredible. We don't ask him.
I see him smoking your stuff more than I see Nas smoking on social media. So it's like
he does that because he likes the cigars. We don't have any kind of formal relationship with him. He's been doing that because he's just really into it, which to me is an incredible compliment.
So are you ready to step up to the big boys, or sales wise, in terms of supply chain, or you kind of want to stick to the direct to the consumer market?
Oh, we're already expanding beyond that. I mean, believe it or not, like, for example, this is random, but it shows the presence of the penetration we've already achieved. We set up a big distributor in Ivory Coast, Africa. And they hit all the resorts, Botswana, Ivory Coast. I mean, they've really lit up the market from that side. Not just a small outer area market. We have Geneva, Russia, UK, people clamoring to distribute our cigars through those international regions. So our direct-to-consumer model was only step one, and it's definitely already led to step two, which is our B2B model.
Okay. Yeah, I've been with Cigar National since August, and I've been pushing. I've been pushing your name, pushing your name, pushing your name. And one thing we've been doing is we have a thing called Conductor, so it allows for us to search and see what people are searching for. And you're getting a lot of hits, and we've been seeing people coming to our sites, CI, CBID, Thompson, Cigars.com, and searching for your product. So
Really, you're actually seeing that? That's interesting.
Yeah, so we're seeing people coming to our sites and looking for your product. So you may get a call soon.
Well, we're open for that. That's what we do. That's part of our B2B model. We're very open for that.
So are you going to TPE next week?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so two of our guys will be out there. Our head of merchandising, Jeff, and then my boss, Joey, will be out there meeting with folks. And so I don't know what meetings they're setting up or what other stuff they're setting up, but they're doing planning. So right now is the planning period. Throughout the probably the rest of the year, so that we can make sure companies have product. When because we order now, we're probably 90 to whatever 120 days or longer out. And these days, like you said, with the supply chain disruptions, we're sitting there waiting on stuff, and everybody wants it, and it's like we can't get enough.
Well, we might be able to help you out with that. Like I said earlier, in our mitigation strategies, what we've done, I don't want to get too into what we're doing, but our supply doesn't seem to have any reason to diminish. So we don't have problems. We order a supply of cigars, that's not in inventory, like new inventory orders. They're in our warehouse on our shelves within 60 days.
Okay, nice. Okay,
nice. Yeah, Reggie and I have been talking about you guys for a little while, Dave. So I'm sure they'll reach out if they don't tackle you in TPE next week.
Well, we'll be rolling cigars at the Super Bowl as well, so you might see us at the Super Bowl.
Yep. We're actually me and BT. We've been talking to the Dick and Jaws cigar party. So we may, if not we, maybe me, we'll be out there. So we'll
I might need to make that.
We won't be working.
Yeah,
we'll just be out there, hanging, smoking, drinking, whatever. So I mean, it's always work, that, but we'll definitely be looking for you guys. So I guess from a we talked about Nas, we talked about kind of the origin, and we talked a little bit about some of the plans. Have you guys, and I see all the blends, and I see all the, actually I could probably do a quick product shot for you, but I'll save that to the end. What other any thoughts on some new blends? Any thoughts on some any other ventures within the company that you can divulge in?
I can go a little bit vague. We're going to be releasing our premium aged cigar probably end of this year. We're testing blends now. We're going through the best blend choices now. But you could say a loose parallel to Padron versus their Padron 1926. You're going to have an upgraded premium aged version. It's going to be the Escobar Ultra Black, which, by the way, Nas has trademarked the painting color of Ultra Black, by the way. So it plays with his album, his music. It plays with everything that we're doing. The Escobar Ultra Black will be a premium aged version coming out into this year. But what's really got people excited is our Nas blunt wrap that's going to be coming out this year.
Okay.
Wow. The blunts. There you go. You guys got for all those people that always ask me and Brian if we'll be offended if they cut open one of our cigars. Escobar Cigars has the leaf for you, the blunt wrap. So look for that when that comes out.
Well, that is a big market, actually. We sell a ton of the machine roll stuff. I mean, we can. That's a big revenue driver.
I think so too, and it's also a gap in the market. People are going to their 7-Eleven, buying a backwoods cigar, reaming it out, and wrapping. It's how they roll their blunts. And I was fascinated by the science behind it. That the level of THC effect increase is like 20 some odd % if you combine cannabis with tobacco. I didn't know that. So that, I No, it's something new to me. But in any case, nobody was really offering really good premium tobacco leaf to wrap this stuff in. So we're going to address that market. We're pretty excited about it.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, David, because what you say is very true. Because I kind of work in an industry where I see a lot of people coming in and purchase the 99-cent packs of different wraps and stuff like that. But we know, Mike and I talk about this. It's pretty much a lot of bottom of the barrel, leftover tobacco where this premium product that Escobar is producing, like you said, it is filling a gap, and I think that it's definitely going to make, like what Reggie said, it's going to make a huge impact to the industry. So, as always, I know people come up to Mike and I when we're at events and when we're hosting events. So I'm sure that, we'll have some Escobar wraps, available since, we don't want people to, it's fine. Now we tell people you can purchase us, you can purchase a cigar, you can ream it out if you like to, but, we always want to have, that available if people want to indulge. So,
we're excited about it. That's actually, ironically, Nas would have never come to agree to be part owner of what we're doing if he didn't believe in the cigars. Matter of fact, that was the first gating factor. We gave him some cigars and he goes, smoke these and get back to us. He called us later that day. He goes, I'm in. This is a great cigar. But he's as excited as he is about the cigars. He's really excited about the blunt wraps. He thinks that could be a wonderful angle to take as a company. And he's got an incredible business mind, by the way.
Well, from what I see numbers wise, it's gonna do really well. It's good.
Yeah.
From your mouth to God's ears, man.
It's gonna do really, really, really well. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know Nas is away from cigars. I mean, he's into so many different things.
Incredible, right?
He's in the tech. Yeah, he's in the tech space. I'm an IT guy by nature, so I pay attention to a lot of that kind of stuff. And truthfully, in the last, I guess, 2 years, I started getting into investments here and there, and just looking up stuff. I see his name, all through some of these investments, these tech companies that are out there. So,
Dropbox, Dropbox, Lyft.
Yep. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So
he's savvy, man. He's really savvy. So when he comes to you and says, I think you should repackage, we listen.
Yeah, no, for sure. I believe it. And, and it's funny because, he's, so essentially, at least me and BT, we're the same ages now. So, we kind of grew up, quote unquote, with him from a music perspective. When he came out, we were in college, kind of bumping it here and there. And it's just like, he's, he has that style that, he's never been the quote unquote entertaining rapper. He's never been, the one that, you're gonna freaking, get all these Grammys or whatever. But he's always the one that most folks with a sensible mind, they got him in their playlist. They're listening to him, they're bumping them. Even the new stuff that's out. I play it all the time. I play it constantly. So that's the only reason when I started hearing, I had already been talking to you guys a little bit, but he's been talking about cigars forever. And then recently, I noticed he's saying specifically Escobar Cigars. So I just thought it was cool.
And his last album, I think the last song in the last album, he actually was singing about Escobar Cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There's
funny,
I purpose. Go ahead, Rich.
It's funny being, in this industry, and you see a lot. All the Cigar International stuff. They got pictures of all these stars smoking cigars, and you could tell most of them are fronting. They don't know how to hold a cigar. You watch them try to light a cigar, and they're burning the whole cigar up. And and years ago,
they cut off a quarter of the cigar when they cut it, right?
Yeah, because one of our companies is General Cigar, so Cohiba, Red Dot is under us, and years ago did a deal with Jay-Z, for a super expensive premium cigar. This cigar was like $100 cigar, and this dude smoked it one time and never talked about it again. Walked away with his money. So it's like, it's always funny. And what I like about this one is that, Nas actually has skin in the game, and you all were already an existing great product, and he came in. So it wasn't like, he said, let me start a cigar company tomorrow. And, I'm just going to let these guys over here do what they do, and I'm just going to, walk out and walk away from it and just make money off of it. So that's one thing I think that people see is that, you see him smoking, you see, DJ Khaled smoking, and, these guys. And when you see Nas out, he looks like, a cigar aficionado. He's not the guy, like I said, is holding the cigar wrong, he cuts it halfway down the cigar and stuff like that. So, I think people who are actually, you have your casual smokers who are going to buy it just because Nas, but then your sophisticated, smokers are going to buy it because, okay, Nas associates himself with, great products. He's not endorsing everything under the sun. So, that's one thing I do like about, the product is that, it seems to be organic. It's not him every time you see him online. He's like, oh, he's hawking a handful of cigars at you. It's kind of him sitting back, smoking a cigar. You see the band, and it's there,
I think it was really happenstance the way it came about. That's an interesting point. If you tried to recreate that, you'd struggle. Number one, cigars are not like a tequila brand. You can't come out with a new tequila brand, reasonably, just starting from scratch. It's just we call it the Nicaraguan mafia. You're gonna hit some areas that stop you up along the way. So starting a new brand is pretty tough for these guys. But I tell you, Nas is a legitimate smoker. He knows good tobacco. He knows cigars. And, Nas provides a wonderful marketing angle, but let's make no mistakes about it. If the cigar is not good, marketing does not matter, in my opinion. So you can have a lousy cigar with the greatest marketing. You may get a pop for a while, but it's not going to be a sustainable model.
Yeah, we had a talk with Steve Saka a couple of months ago, a 6-hour talk with this dude. And we went through lists from like 5 to 10 years ago of cigar companies. And out of, let's say, a list of 50, probably 5 out of that 50 were still around out of each of those groups. Yep. And, it's wild how, like, these companies pop up and then they get a little bit of burn and then it's just flame out, off the radar. And, or they're in the bargain basement bin. We got those in the $2 bin over there, because,
because it's a $2 cigar.
and you get the guys who come in with the premium price tag, and it's not a premium cigar, but they think that they're going to be able to make $15 sounds great to everybody, but a great $8 cigar, I've smoked some phenomenal sub $10 cigars, so but people only want to come in that that's premium price point, and not everybody's meant to be in that premium price point. You can ride that $10 and to the bank. And that guy making that $20 cigar be out of business, so.
Well, I mean, it passes the personal litmus test. We're all cigar smokers here. So we've all gone online. We've all bought cigars before. We've all gone to shops and say, okay, I'll pay this for this cigar. I smoke my own cigars, not because I have to, because it's in good taste, because I love my cigar. It's almost like when you go to Cuba, you don't realize why, but every time you smoke a cigar, you need like a roach clip at the end to hold it because you're not going to give it up. I mean, you want to smoke that last puff, and you don't even realize you're doing it, but you realize when you're there, you're doing it every time. And just subconsciously, if you take a marginal cigar, even one that's kind of okay, sometimes I'll leave a quarter of the stick or sometimes half a stick in the ashtray. It's like I don't smoke it all the way. I smoke mine down to the nub. And that is my own personal litmus test.
No, for sure. And I mean, speaking of, good cigars, right? So, and I said this to you, Dave, and I'm not saying this because you're on the call. And, I said it last time we talked. So, and BT can attest, I've been an avid Leaf by Oscar smoker, right? That was O2. Still is one of them. But when I got my hands on these Escobar cigars, like, I can't keep them. Like, full disclosure, I'm glad this lounge carried them because I didn't have any more left at my house. I came down and called my boy Corey down here at Cigar in Wilmington, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we carry." I was like, "Yes." So I came here the other night.
I'll give you a discount code. You can have them in 3 days. Order them online; they'll be there 3 days later.
There it is.
There we go.
There we go. And me and BT on the other side of it, like, we're doing these events all over the country. I mean, we started carrying you guys' stuff and put it on our table, and people see it. And I'm going to show, for those watching, I actually have a couple pictures. I'm going to show kind of the packaging and what the cigar itself looks like, you know, outside of me trying to hold it, show it because it's harder to see. But I mean, you know, everything's clean, everything looks, you know, looks a certain way. So do it. If they know, yeah, that's Nas's brand, yeah, they'll buy it. But sometimes they just see the box and they're, oh, that looks good. What's that? Or they'll see the label. Oh, what's that? You know, that looks good. So real quick, and everybody should be able to see this. But I'll pop the cigar up on the screen really. Can you guys see that? If you can't on the call watch, you can see it. You know, it's the, you know, that you want to I guess David talk about that, the label, like kind of what into the label, because it's simple, but it's still really, really nice. Like it's a good looking label.
We had this vision of people in a cigar lounge, and you look across the room, you see somebody smoking this great cigar. Like, what's he smoking? It's like, oh, he's smoking an E. You know, we wanted something simple where people would recognize that E from Escobar across the room, not have to go up to the cigar, look at it with glasses, and say, what's that brand? We wanted it obvious. It's just, for me, that's marketing 101.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, because I did a week in the store when I first started. So when you first started Cigar National, you do a week in the store, a week call center, and a week in the warehouse. One of the things in the store, every day some guy came in, hey, look at this picture. Can you tell me what cigar this is from a little itty bit of a band? It's like, dude, like I can't even see the picture. Like, but we always have one guy in the store who can look at any. It could be the blurriest picture, the smallest picture, and like boom. But you know, one of the things, you know, when we work with companies is that you want that band to be recognizable. You know, you don't want something that's overly intricate. You know, you want now that's great every now and then. You know, but for the most part, you want something that somebody can walk into a shop and be like, hey, I saw this cigar with a gold and an E. Okay, Escobar. You know.
Well, let me give you a marketing parallel. Nike. When Nike first came out, it had the swoosh, and right below it, it said Nike. It became so recognizable that you don't really see the Nike on the logo anymore. It's just swoosh. Everybody knows it's Nike. We see the same thing. Somebody sees that E, it's like Escobar.
Yep.
So if you can make it iconic, we've done a good job in marketing.
Yep. And speaking of which, I mean, these boxes, you know, that big old gold E that's on that box, and you know, just the way everything's packaged, the way they come, you know, they have that parchment paper kind of laying on top of it. That's not obvious this picture, but you know, it just looks good. It looks great, to be quite honest. So I think that, you know, that goes right along with your marketing. It makes it look, and it's not an expensive cigar. It look like it's super expensive, and it just draws people to it. So I stole this picture from your photographer, Doc Savage, by the way.
Doc Savage, I want to shout him out, by the way. He does some incredible photography for us. He just loves cigars. He loves taking pictures of them. He's been fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, as a professional photographer, I like that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I shoot also.
Right. I had more. I was like, I'll just show those two for now, but he actually sent me a video I was going to play, but I didn't get a chance to download it. But he showed me a couple of those that he did. He's been sending me some stuff, so I told him, you know, anything he has, you know, we'll definitely market it and put it out there.
Well,
but yeah, man,
let me tell you something
that,
that's really important. Sorry.
Sure.
Something really critical in the packaging I want to mention here. It's like the outside. There's two sides of packaging here. The outside is, you know, as we just discussed, new age, edgy, the way we want it, right? But inside is traditional Cuban. Up to the cedar we use for the box, the onion paper that we lay down over it, the flavors, the taste, all inside the box are Cuban, old school, old world Cuban. Outside, new age. That's kind of how we explain it. We don't want to change the inside, nor would we. We want that traditionally Cuban.
Cool.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, when I walk in the shop and I'm looking at a cigar, I'm more visually driven and just by feel. My girlfriend, she whips out her phone and does research, you know, like looks at the ratings and reads everything. I just kind of will just grab a cigar and try it. You know, I've never had a truly terrible cigar. You know, I've been lucky, I guess, you know, but
I've had a few.
I've been lucky. I've been, you know, pretty lucky, you know, to have a good feel for, you know, for what, you know, but, you know, I'm more apt to try, you know, like that. And I think, you know, when I saw your stuff, even before I talked to Mike, I was like, okay, I like that. I was like, okay, if I walk in the shop, I would buy that. You know, I would be drawn to that, and I would buy that. You know, one thing, you know, that I look at across the board. You have your old school guys who we look at the box and I'm like, this box is terrible looking, but the cigars are great. One thing I love about boxes is I like, I have a stack. I keep all my boxes, all the nice ones. I got stacks of boxes. I'm making a display that's going to go up, so when I'm sitting on a Zoom, you see all my nice boxes and stuff. And when you look at like in our warehouse, we throw away probably thousands of boxes a day. They break out for 5 packs, but people fight over the good boxes, whether it be the warehouse staff or management, they're down there like, keep that box. You do not throw that box away. Everybody wants that good box. And like we have women that come in the store and will buy. We sell them for $1. They'll buy $50 worth of boxes to make.
Well, I've had women that want to turn it into a purse.
Yeah, or guitars. We get guys that come in to make guitars. We get it, but there are certain boxes like your box. They would probably fight over. It probably be old ladies in there like boxing over the box because it's just such a nice box. And like I said, that's one thing that kind of we see that drives people is that visual cue. Like, okay, they buy with their eyes, and that's for a lot of people.
Yep.
Sometimes it works. I just lost a football pool to a woman who chose all of her teams based upon, I think I like the Broncos seem like a nice a horse will beat a bear. So you never know people's methodology, but listen, I've made a lot of hotel housekeepers very happy by leaving the boxes behind.
Yep. No, that's it. It's funny because I got a bunch of them myself, kind of just laying around. I'm like, I should do something with these. I don't have them stored anywhere special like Reggie.
Right. Yeah. I keep a lot of the boxes. I used to keep a lot of the boxes, but there's a young lady that's here in Atlanta that repurposes them, and she actually did one for me. I'm a Falcons fan from Atlanta, so unfortunately I'm a Falcons fan. But she did repurpose one for me, which and she put different things in. She put like shot glasses, Falcon socks, koozies, like all kind of different things. She repurposed the box and she does those. So she and I kind of have a partnership when when I have empty boxes, once I collect so many. We'll meet up and she'll, get the boxes for me, things of that nature. I don't think I've given her the Escobar boxes though, because I think I have kept those. I haven't given her those, but I have given her a lot of the other boxes. But David, like you said, there's a lot of people that are repurposing them, making purses and other different things that I've seen. And Rich said too, those boxes, the Escobar boxes are really nice. So, people will. The packaging is really, really great. Like you said, David, I mean, it's a great mindset to keep that, that Cuban feel on the inside. Like you say, even down to the cedar and the paper that's used. That's something that when you're thinking about, like you said, coming from the background that you come from, when you come from that marketing side of just thinking through those things that, people would definitely appreciate once they open up the box. You get, a person that's really, really into cigars and they open up that box and they see that, that old school feel. It's a great thing. So, that marketing package is definitely.
Well, I give credit to Naz's marketing team on that.
Okay.
One thing I see, okay, I'm on your website now, your accessories section. You don't have a cutter. We need a cutter, my man. We need a cutter, nice cutter. Like one thing my girlfriend bought me. She bought me the Prometheus Fuente cutter, which is like.
We have a cutter in our gift box that we offer in our gift box. There are a couple cutters. You'll see them on there probably next couple of days. But cutters are small items. But yes, cutters and lighters have to have the basic. We don't necessarily want to be in the accessory business. But if somebody comes to our website and they want to buy cigars, they want a cutter and a lighter to go with it. We need to fulfill the whole lot. So I agree with you. We need a few more accessories in there. The T-shirts and polo shirts have gone off pretty well, though. A lot of people want those.
Yeah, I need one of those shirts.
Every time we try to get one, man, they're gone. we were talking about trying to have. Yeah, we were talking about trying to have one for this call, but it didn't work out so well. So
we'll make sure our next inventory shipment will hold a few aside for you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yes, I can wear it to work and wear it to the office.
Yeah, you can, right? You can. Technically, I can too, because my office is wherever I'm at. But that's the luxury of this whole remote IT life. So I mean, I don't know if everybody else has any questions. I know some folks have been chiming in on social media here and there, but I mean, I'm pretty much questioned out. I definitely, appreciate the time. I don't know whether BT or Reggie or anybody else that's on kind of mute and quiet, if you guys want to jump in, if you have any specific questions you want to ask, or even put it in the chat for that matter, we'll gladly ask David for you.
Happy to answer questions. There's a lot of people that are embarrassed about wanting to know more, but they're embarrassed to ask the questions. I think these are great forums for it. Ask the things you always want to ask.
Yeah.
I know Karen and go ahead, BT.
No, I was saying, I know that a couple people online had asked about the factory where they produce. They were asking about the tobacco, and you guys curating your own tobacco. We've noticed, like I said, a lot of people don't have that access, and they're producing the cigar. But we definitely.
You mean how the tobacco is procured, or do we grow our own tobacco? What are you asking exactly?
Yes. Yeah. Someone asked, did they grow their own tobacco?
Good question. Good question. We do not. This would be, let me give you a parallel for those of you who understand wine, for example. Anybody has had a really good bottle of wine knows Opus One, for example. Opus One is a incredible Napa wine. I grew up near there, so I'm a big fan. They grow some of their own grapes on premises, but they're not known for growing their grapes. What makes the Opus One wine fantastic is the blend of grapes, not the one type of grape, but the blend of grapes. We could say the exact same thing about tobacco. What makes our cigar really good, in my opinion, is the blend of different tobaccos. San Andreas Mexican wrapper on the Maduro, some of the different blends we use, that's the secret sauce, to be honest with you.
Nice.
So with like I said, that San Andreas is a very it's a wonderful leaf. Cigars that contain that San Andreas Mexican wrapper is I've come across a few. I know that there's a few that we know that they use it, but that San Andreas is a great cigar. I know that we also too ask this sometimes to some of our guests. So what were some of your challenges, or what are some of the challenges of running your own or having your own cigar line? What's like some of the challenges that you guys faced, through
well, I mean, supply chain is one of them. So we knew going in that with the amount of, the progress we were making, the demand that we are creating, we needed to have our supply chain very tight, tighter than everybody else as a somewhat new brand. So we took a lot of painstaking actions early on to kind of circumvent that. So that is a challenge, but I think that's a challenge with any business, not just the cigar business. Supply chain issues are going to hamper anybody that's not prepared. And I think we are, so I think we've mitigated that. The other challenges are more, where do you put your advertising dollars? Where do you put your marketing dollars? Nothing's infinite. So we're putting it towards people. We're putting it towards marketing the cigar as a conversation piece, as you mentioned earlier, Mike. So the challenges are basic business challenges, supply chain being the number one.
So question for you. Will you all ever do any kind of collabs with other boutique companies, or do you want to kind of stay in your own lane and create your own great cigars?
Well, the plan is always to stay in your lane, create a great cigar, and whatever happens, happens. We're already working with other major brands, through our international and European distribution partners out there who are heavily involved with Davidoff, Switzerland, for example. There's plenty of room for everybody to coexist. And do I foresee any partnerships down the road? It could happen. We're not actively seeking them right now, but it is. It's still possible, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing, that I see in certain, instances that, companies will, kind of combine to create a little synergy to put out that just a unique product, and let that ride and then go back to their own thing. And, so I just always like to ask, if companies ever like kind of envision that, or like I said, if that's just not, in their mindset.
Oh, I think we're growing this business for sustainability. Let me preface it by saying that, because I think that's a big difference. And you said you're in IT, so you understand the the startup world. The startup world, which is a world I grew up in, was you build it up enough until you could sell it off, and that's always a dangerous model, in my opinion. You build for sustainability, and you plan to this being a long-term brand in the market, international and domestic markets. So yeah, we may forsake some quick revenues early for the long play, but we're definitely all in it for the long play, and that makes a difference.
Yep, that does.
So changing gears a little. Sean from Facebook asked, "What's your typical pair? With an Escobar for you?" I know for me, it's rum. Looks like Sean drinks a Aganushtra 1824 rum neat. I'm a neat rum guy. Everybody knows I'm drinking my rum. But what about you, David? I know you said you're drinking beer now, but typically, what would you go with?
Great question. There's a chef in town here that we've done a lot of pairings with before. She has a lot of different tequila brands. I'm more personally, my taste runs more towards tequila, but you mentioned earlier rum and cigars. I never liked rum until I spent time in Cuba and I started drinking really good rum. And I realized what a great pairing. A good dark chocolatey rum with a cigar is a fantastic pairing. Couldn't advocate for anything more. I like tequila and cigars, but it's not rum and cigars.
Yep, that's my language right there. I mean, my argument has always been, rum and cigars are made in the same countries. I mean, Nicaragua has Flor de Caña.
I love Flor de
has
Caña.
This Ranzacapa. Yeah, the 18. I love it. Yep. Guatemala has Ranzacapa. That's what I'm drinking right now. Republic has 1888 that I like to drink. So, I can usually find my rum somewhere. Sometimes it's a challenge, and then I have to go with, cognac or whatever. But, give me some.
Or Don Julio 1942.
There you go. I have that at home. I rarely drink it, but I do have it at home because I'm not a big tequila guy, but I do have 1942 at my house. It sits on top of my refrigerator.
That's it. That actually is a particularly good pairing because that particular tequila has a lot of hints of vanilla in it. And our natural cigars have hints of vanilla as well. And it seems to be a very good pairing from my personal experience. 1942 and one of our natural cigars, great pairing.
Okay.
We use natural the same way others use Habano. So Habano equals natural.
Right. Yeah, I was actually going to ask that because I'm smoking a Maduro right now, but the natural that one, that's the one that just as much as I like heavier cigar, that cigar I could smoke that thing, cut the grass, whatever. It's a real smooth smoke. Yeah, and it's crazy because like I started to allude to it earlier, like when we're set up at these different events, like when we were just at in Orlando for the Culture Fest in Orlando, and folks come to the table, and we kind of lean them towards certain things here and there, but again, they see that gold E, they grab it, and they're smoking it, and they always come back like, "Yo, I really like this." I'm like, I told you, like it's really smooth, it's simple. The Maduros are the acquired taste for most folk, but that natural, most of your event-based cigar smokers, and I don't want to call them novices, but folks that are just out and they see cigars and say, you know what, I'm going to smoke because I see it. They love the natural. They love it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm probably 3-to-1 natural to Maduro myself, and I love a Maduro. But if I take like a Maduro 56 gauge or double Toro Gordo, for example, that's a lot of Maduro cigar, and it's a great cigar. So if I'm on a golf course or someplace where I'm not in a hurry, it works out well. But I tend to gravitate about 3-to-1 to natural. I can't smoke Maduros every day. I love them, but I can't smoke them as regularly as the Habanos.
Right. I'm smoking that one right now, actually. So if you happen to be on a web stream call talking to folks for at least an hour, the Maduro works for that too.
That's a good one. Yep.
True.
All right, so I need to pick up a sample pack and so I can try all these cigars. I haven't tried one of your cigars yet. I haven't been anywhere that sold them. That's the thing. So I had to jump online and Mike's been telling me you got to try these cigars.
You know me. I can get them, man. We're already selling them. So
okay, so I got to be. We're moving back to DC in March, so So
Yeah,
I got about
I used to go to DC, I used to go to DC a lot, and it's hard to find a place to smoke. A couple of lounges in DC, but when I'd go there on a business trip, I'd go down to the lobby. It's like 5 degrees outside. I go, I'll bring my gloves, sit outside, smoke a cigar. I last 5 minutes. It's just not as fun as Cuba.
Oh, definitely. I mean, well, DC now you have some nice spots. Shelley's if you're downtown.
I love Shelley's. Shelley's is fantastic.
Yeah, TG Cigar. They just redid their spot. You got Petworth Cigar, which is a new spot. And you have JR and all those guys. You have Casa at Monte Cristo. And if you go out to Maryland, you have Tobacco Leaf and
Philly
Tinderbox and all that stuff, Affiliate and all that stuff. So you got some nice spots. But downtown DC, Shelley's is probably your spot. Is right near all the hotels.
I got invited to President Obama's inauguration, and it was so cold that day.
Oh,
and after the inauguration, we all went to Shelley's and spent all night there.
Yeah, I was actually out photographing the inauguration. Yeah, it was brutally cold.
Worth it.
Yeah, I was out there freezing my ass off. I sure we had.
I
went down there. We had a group of about 20 people, and when I say we were all literally connected to each other trying to stay warm, like
literally.
You know what? Yeah, it was biting out there. There was no way.
I couldn't feel my feet.
Definitely like you. It was definitely worth it.
If I hadn't been getting paid, I'd have stayed home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, wearing like black dress shoes and a suit, but other than that.
Oh no, I had on boots and layers and socks, and I think I had on 2 pair of underwear. It was cold. It was cold. And we definitely started drinking early that day too, for sure.
I think everybody did, but Shelley's was my refuge. I love Shelley's.
Huh?
Yeah, for sure.
I like sitting outside of Shelley's in the summertime.
All right. So, if nobody has anything else, I know we have a game coming up, so I'll let David get out of here and get to his game. But definitely appreciate you, your willingness to get on with us and just kind of talk through some things. We got watching on all the different platforms that are sending, they're sending comments, but they're not really sending questions. So I'm gonna be on me. But yeah, man. I mean, all the best. Obviously, me and BT will do what we can do to help keep things going, and we'll keep it on our tables, and all the events that we got going on. I think we sent you a schedule. We got a lot coming up. We'll be in Miami. I think Mike said he's gonna try to meet us in Miami in February for Black Smoke Miami. So we'll make a point to guys front and center like we do with anybody. We have an active relationship with people. We obviously it's easier for us to want to sell their stuff. So
yeah, let me know. Like we talked about support. We talked about supporting Black Smoke Miami. So let me know if that you still want our support on that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll we'll talk. We can talk offline, but definitely we got some opportunity there for you guys to be front and center. So we'll talk about that offline. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't have any parting words or any advice for folks that are trying to start, because there's so many boutique brands out now and folks trying to get started. So now's your time to kind of give your soapbox goodbyes and advice and thank yous and whatever else you want to do.
Well, thank you is obvious. I mean, having me on, it's never a problem. If you ever want me to come on these things, I could talk cigars all day long down to the technical detail. I love talking about it, so never a problem. And I certainly appreciate you gentlemen giving me the opportunity to be on today. So thank you for your time as well today and putting this all together. Whatever we can do to support. We'd like more people smoking our cigars, obviously, but only because we think they're good.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing the powers that be to get in contact with you and get you in our portfolio.
I'd love to meet up with them at TPE.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell them after I look at the layout, tell them to look you up and stop by. So Joey Jobs stocks by, that's my boss. Yeah, Mr. Jobs. And I've been pushing him. I've been like, dude, look, we're getting searches on our sites for this product, so we need to have this product in the inventory. People are looking.
Well, we're happy to support that.
Yep. Cool. All right, man.
Guys, thank you. I really appreciate your
will,
time today, honestly.
No, for sure, man.
Definitely.
For sure. We'll do more. We'll talk more for sure. And for those watching, thank you guys for watching. We'll give you guys back. Some game is about to happen. I have no interest in the game that's going to happen, but I like football, so I'll at least watch. I'll watch while I'm in mourning. Shout out to my Eagles. Good luck to your 49ers.
They'll need it.
You guys all. Yeah, they're going against the best. They're going against the best that's doing it right now. So, it'll be interesting.
Sure.
We'll see. We'll see.
Any given Sunday,
yeah, man. Thanks
right?
to everybody.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah. That's true. That's what I thought yesterday. But it didn't happen at all. So go Birds. Go home. Watch the games with me. But yeah, man. Like I said, appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that's watching on all the platforms. And what I'll do, Dave, is since we couldn't do Instagram, what I'll do is once this video downloads, I'll shoot the video over, and we can stream the video so folks can see it.
Yep, throw it to Morgan on social media. He'll take care of that and repost for you.
Perfect.
I was doing a little live piece. So I know we had some people on the Diamante page that were watching. So I know we did get quite a few people that have from you guys repost from Escobar Cigars and a few other things. We did get quite a few people that did come over and watch from the Diamante page. So we definitely want to thank you guys for reposting that, because it did drive a lot of people to the page to view from, so a lot of people did get a chance to see some of the interview from Instagram too. So we're definitely thankful for that.
All right.
Mike is into it with somebody.
All right, sorry, I was talking to a fellow patron of Cigar Lounge in Wilmington. For those that are watching, if you're in the Wilmington area and you've never been to Cigar, make sure you come on down. Good people, great people. I love coming here when I get a chance. They have all the good spirits. I would turn my laptop and show you the bar, but I'm not going to do all that this time. Y'all just come down and see for yourself. But again, they carry Escobar Cigars already, so it's always a good thing. So with that, I will let everybody go. Again, thanks for watching. Everyone be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And, you have questions about this, what you saw today, reach out. If you have questions specifically for David, reach out. We can get to them and, ask those questions and everything else. But other than that, man, that's all we got. So I'll let you guys go.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.